there, and welcome to the Founders Chat. I'm Larry Gifford.
I'm Soania Mathur.
And I'm Tim Hague.
It is great to have you here. You can always get in touch with us by going to speakpipe.com/PD Avengers and leave us a message. Speakpipe.com/PD Avengers. Uh, Today, we're going to go over three stories, three things that we've learned about Parkinson's in the last week. We'll each bring one of those items to the table. We'll start with Sonia.
Thank you, Larry. This isn't something new, but I was just in a meeting with a number of PD advocates and organizations that work in Africa. And as you know, neurological diseases in general are the greatest cause of disability globally, and PD is the fastest growing of those neurological disorders. So it's a huge global problem. And the treatment gap, which is the difference between the number of people with the condition, so those with PD and those receiving appropriate treatment, exceeds over 75% in low-income countries, including those in Africa. So there are lots of people that are A, not being diagnosed, and B, even if diagnosed, don't receive medication. And this can be for another number of reasons. There's a stigma issue, which is a global issue, to be honest. Medication supply, so registration and market authorization for those medications, financial limitations, lack of availability of medication. So even if the medications can be afforded, the lack of availability is an issue. And also a trained healthcare workforce to identify patients and monitor patients when they're receiving medication. So this is a huge problem, which I've been working on for quite a while with our Medication Equity Committee. But I think we've sort of come to the conclusion that we need to start something to address the immediate needs of those people in our PD community. We are part of a global community and need to address everyone's right to quality of life as best as we can. So we're thinking about starting a new program here at PD Avengers, which should be a sponsorship type of format and more to come. But this is going to be something that we might turn to you, our followers, to help us address and help us make a difference in our community.
That's awesome. Thanks. Timmy, you're up.
Yes. Well, I'm going to segue off of what Sonia's had to say there a little bit. I have been thinking about something of recent that isn't new, but is a reminder that Parkinson's isn't normal. And we say, really? Really? Because I think sometimes part of the public starts to assume that some of our symptoms are just a normal part of getting old. That you're supposed to be stooped and drooly and shaky and rigid and unable to do lots of things as you grow older, and that's not true. It's not normal. It's not normal to get this disease at 46. It's not normal to have to give up your job at 51, and it's not normal to have to advocate on behalf of people who don't get their medication. This is not a normal thing. These are not normal steps along life. We shouldn't have to face this, especially as young onset. And it's not good enough for the world to say, well, that's just the way it is. It's so you shake a little bit. No, that's not good enough. We need to continue to be loud. We need to continue to make ourselves heard. We need to continue to advocate on our own behalf, on behalf of others, to say this isn't right, this isn't normal, and you need to be doing more for us, both to our governments and to our healthcare providers, to the Parkinson's community, to the organizations that say they support us. Everyone needs to be doing more for those of us living with the disease. And so that's my two bits today. It's kind of something that's been burning in the back of my mind, and so you get it this morning.
Great. Thank you. I am going to tell you about a 65-year-old British man who was missing for 4 days in Paris after we went to the French Open. He had Parkinson's. He didn't have any of his medication with him. He already had slurred speech, and he couldn't walk around very well. His family lost him. We went out to dinner, or he lost his family. I'm not sure which way it goes. His daughters came over to France to look for him, and then after 4 days, they found him, and he was safe and alive. And it's just a reminder: A, know where your people are. B, we do oftentimes need help, even if we seem normal one moment. If I go without my meds for a couple of times, it's gonna be hard pressed to think right, to move right, to yeah, I can't imagine that situation. And so it's if you're traveling through an airport, if you're traveling, if you're going to a new city, have these plans in place, make sure they have a cell phone or something that they can answer, or make sure they have put one of those luggage tags on them so you can find them. Whatever you need to do to make life a little easier for everyone, and I think that's going to be key moving forward. And we'll just use his horrifying example at first, because
Mm.
I can't imagine losing somebody for 4 days who is
No.
65 with Parkinson's, and
Yeah.
that's
If you
just
have a phone, share your location.
right.
Yeah.
So there's lots of things you can do, but it's just a reminder to all of us that as strong as we want to be, we're not always as on as we'd like to be.
Yeah.
I was Becky and I were out and about at the farmers market over the weekend, and she goes, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Just a ton of stimulation. It just
Right.
sort of froze me.
Mhm.
And that happens with too much stimulation coming at me. I just like, whoa, get wide eyed and slow down. And it's like, okay.
We
Either
were
that
at
or I'm
a
stopped at the cheese samples.
we were at a party over the weekend, and a similar thing happened to me. It was room was just full of people, and I couldn't understand any conversation going on around me, and it just was you just kind of shut down for a bit.
Yeah.
And Cheryl sees me, and she reaches over and touches me, and says, "You okay?" I'm like, "Well, I think so."
That's our three things that we've learned this week. And if you have something, again, you can go to speakpipe.com/PD Avengers and tell us what's new for you. And we'll talk to you again next week. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Bye.
Bye bye.